please forgive my intrusion into your life. I know you must be busy and you've got many thoughts and feelings. All of them are so important that even a break for them, even for a moment, is an aggression that I know you can't forgive. So I appreciate any and all the forgiveness you can offer, and I promise I won't be taking up too much of your time. I had been hypothetically thinking about how I would go about maybe possibly seeing if you might be okay with someday, no pressure, no obligations, to maybe being open to a tiny small invitation to maybe go to a movie. And I know how it sounds, and please, I want you to forgive me for speaking out of turn and even not even pausing to retort to the 4 or 5 points I have already made. I must be mansplaining, I guess, and I'm sorry. I'm please forgive me. Okay. Um, um, there was a movie that I wanted to go see, but it's an action movie, and even though it's been hailed by very close-minded uh, um, right-wing critics as spectacular, there is a lot of violence in it, and there's some objectification of women as they're seen wearing very revealing clothing and being talked to and being submissive to men who are clearly misogynists in any definition. And but I admit I was kind of curious, not because I like that, not because I like that sort of stuff, but I actually would like to educate myself in seeing examples of that kind of behavior, so that as I'm living my life, I do not emulate any of that, which would benefit you and society. Yeah. And I didn't want to go by myself. Um, Not because I'm ashamed of myself. I've got healthy self-esteem, but I also think that it would be good to at least be social, because I would not want to be rude and assume that you don't like that kind of film. But I also don't want to assume that you do, which is why I want to keep this completely in the hypothetical. Because I really do not want you to misconstrue or misinterpret my feelings. Um, but if on the off chance that this is something that you might um, have an interest, or just maybe a moment of curiosity in, I can meet you at the movie theater, and um, I will bring with me at least 5 female friends, uh, and I invite you to bring at least 5 of your friends, just so that it cannot be construed as us being there just together, because I know you would, because we don't know each other that well. I would like to be able to move this at a pace which makes you feel absolutely comfortable. I mean, I would even be willing to sit 4 4 seats down, but I'm sorry, maybe I'm being way presumptuous. 6. I will sit at least 6 seats down. Okay? And I will have at least 5 people on the side and 5 people on the other side. so that we've got good, safe zones. So there's no accidental hint of me invading your space. Okay, and even if that's not good enough, I'd be willing to sit in the furthest back row. I would assume that I wouldn't want to go in the front row or in the middle because I don't want to uh, trample on the rights of other people who may also want to use those seats because maybe they've got bad eyesight. But I don't want to assume that they do. I just want to make sure that everyone has a fair shake to do that. I'm sorry I said shake. I'm not saying that violence. I'm not saying they should be shook. I'm really not saying that. I'm just simply them. I need to get better verbiage, I guess. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I really am not. I'm I really want you to be. I want this to be a completely neutral. Not that you're not worth, you know, for going further if you choose. And I am not suggesting that you do in any way, shape, or form. And by shape, I simply mean that in the context of a very archaic way of expressing my point because I'm not intelligent enough to think of a more contemporary, neutral way to say that to you and risk you being offended. Um, and so please accept my apology for not being more educated and and more well read, so that I can express myself in the proper way. It's I went to the library to go and find some of the books that you say you like, but there was a line and many people wanted to have their turn, and I did not want to, keep everyone from their turn because after all, who am I when others need, right? So, um, so I yeah, so it's better to do that. And but if you like the movie, or if you want some opinions on it, I'd be happy to pass you letters. I won't even put my name on mine. I'll even use print so that the I don't want you. My cursive is nice, but it's also very flowy, and I don't want you to interpret my good penmanship as an advance. I want to keep this safe, 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 of course. And after the movie, if you're hungry, um, we can get something to eat. But I don't want to, just like the movie. What I would do is have, um, like if you can pick whatever restaurant you want, but I ask you, I'm begging you, please, and please don't assume that I don't know how to make a decision. I'm simply respecting your absolute right to choose how you want to do it. Okay, and it's like let's say you want to go to Denny's. Okay, then we'll see if we can find a table that will allow your 5 friends and my 5 friends or acquaintances or simply really good, I don't know, good, true, honest, equal people to sit at the table so that we could have 5 on one side and 5 on the other. But I would be to the left because I wouldn't want anyone to assume that because I'm sitting directly across from you that I'm forcing an association. I'm not a stalker, so um, I don't want there to be any mixed signals. And in fact, I would even go to a whole another Denny's or even an IHOP. And what we could do is just simply correspond on social media if you like, because I know that most people prefer social media because it is the safest way to express oneself. Sometimes, maybe. I'm not saying that's true. I'm simply basing this on what my perception is, but I know my perception may not be your perception, so please don't assume that you and I are thinking the same, because I can honestly say we are thinking very different things. And I want to thank you very much for sharing your opinions and celebrating um, your diverse emotions and inclusiveness. So, um, also, if it wouldn't be uh, too uh, too much of an imposition, but if you could sign this or simply put an X by your name that basically states that you have agreed to share the same oxygenated space with persons varied, some you know and some you don't know, and you're okay with that. Um, because I don't want anyone to assume or uh, believe that you did anything you're uncomfortable with now, or even say 5 or 6 days from now or a year from now. You start thinking about it one day, and then you decide I acted inappropriately, which is entirely your right. It's your right to think that I'm thinking inappropriately a year, 10 years into the future, and and then and cause me to answer for that because reasons, right? So, but that's um, so so this is just a hypothetical idea, no obligation whatsoever. I and I like to give flowers, but I know that you have um, I know you have strong emotions about the needless destruction of plant life for 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 reasons. So, and I respect that. I respect that a lot. Wow, you have such a broad and open and wonderful. And I know I'm not saying that you're a wonder. I'm not elevating you to a place where I hope that you don't feel uncomfortable being elevated. I want you to stay 100% in your safe, comfortable zone. Okay. Um, and so, but again, this is completely hypothetical. If you um, are having positive macro positivity to maybe considering this free and unbiased and absolutely neutral idea, then please put me in a group text with people that only agree with you and your views, and have them send to me a possibility, and then we'll proceed exactly as you suggest. Okay. Okay, I'm not saying it's okay, I'm just saying there it is. Please take it or disregard it at your leisure. Throw it in the trash, because God knows I'm trash. And I'm not saying that you should believe in God. I'm just saying it's an expression. And again, I told you I'm not very book learned, and I'm not articulate. And sometimes I cannot speak anything but ignoramus. And so, and but I am trying. I am really trying hard, and I hope you can. I can hope you can appreciate the effort. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. I know I've taken up way too much of your time. Um, and I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, and unbiased day. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matticus Valentin Kole. Sorry for taking up 14 minutes of your time, but I'm going to end it with this. Did that previous piece, which I call a contemporary love letter, seem ridiculous? A little over the top? A little WTF? Because it is. Very much so. And it is exactly where we are heading if we do not get these oversensitive, mind-numbing, ignorant, primo maxi zoom dweebies to pull the stick out of their ass and learn to live inside the human race. Romance is messy. Romance is risky. Romance is ridiculously fun, especially if it's filled with mystery and confidence and passion. There is no safety in romance. There's only romance. If you go on a bad date, don't go out with that dude again. If you had a bad sexual experience, don't ever fuck that guy again. Do not make mountains out of molehills. Or the next time there's a hashtag movement, it'll have y'all's ass names on it. You know what I mean? Alright, you guys, that's it for me. If you're tired of all this hyper politically correct bullshit, give this video a liker, give it a thumbs up, share it like it's nobody's business. If it's your first time here, hey, subscribe. And as always, keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I loves you. I appreciate you. And I don't give a fuck who knows it. Latest.